Hello from the Outer Banks of North Carolina, John Head, Colony Realty Sales, and just coming to you with our regular monthly update on the market statistics and what's happening here in the real estate world on the Outer Banks. So obviously we've talked about this briefly before. Everything's in arrears, so it doesn't come out. The numbers really don't come out to somewhere between the 10th and 15th of August in this case. So we're here on the 16th, giving you the rundown. So the overall market is really indicative of a lot of customary summers or historical summers, and that things slow down, except for a little anomaly of July, which was considerably up for closed sales. So if you take a look at the first part of this statistical report, you will see it's pretty well spelled out. Overall inventory is up 37% since July of 2023 and 31% since January of this year. Residential inventory is up 52%. And 36 since the beginning of this year. Lot inventory again up with 25% since the beginning of the year 2024. Can't get it out of my lips today. 2024. So the sales have been a little bit mixed. The residential sales for the year are down 6%. However, like I mentioned earlier, July was a real anomaly, and it was up 20% over the preceding year of 2023. Single-family detached homes for the year were down 2%. However, in July, again, a big jump of 32%. Condo sales didn't do so well, down 11% and 18% over the preceding year to 2023. And under contracts, this is where I kind of focus a little bit more on because they're down, right? Which is historically correct in the summer months because it's people are coming for vacation, right? They want to be on the beach. They're not necessarily going to look at houses because half the time we can't get you in them until a turnover day. So that side of it is pretty interesting. And if it continues to gain inventory and slower contracts, we're going to see that little bit of a tipping point into the buyer side arena. We're still in a pretty relatively strong seller's market. The market conditions have been such with higher interest rates that you're seeing some price improvements. You can't really reach for the sky right now. You have to stay right at or just below recommended market prices to get them sold. So some of them are selling very quickly. And then the other side of it is they're going out rather slowly. So if you've overpriced it, the house is going to sit there. And if you keep it to the market in all likelihood, and you'll have under contract within 60 to 90 days. You'll see that the overall days on market here is averaging 52. Now, keep in mind, I've referenced this before, this is the entire MLS system, which also covers part of Currituck, Hyde County, some intercoastal areas as well. So when I look at the numbers currently, if you just back up for total inventory, you'll see as of today, the 16th of August, we have 705 active residential properties. I'm not looking at vacant land. And then single families, which would exclude condos and townhouses, there's 574. Out of those under contracts, total in is 245. If we look at just single family, that's 213. So with those numbers, we have, if nothing else comes on the market, we have 34 to 37 months worth of inventory. So that's what's driving it. And as we get past August here, because we're in an election cycle, things get a little weird. Always have. I've been at this in September, coming around the corner. I will start my 27th year here on the beach selling real estate. And every 4-year cycle, when you get closer to November, it just gets a little fickle. But I do believe with the proposed Federal Reserve doing a little bit of interest rate drops in September, that may spur some more activity. We did see just a little pullback from interest rates here recently, and under contracts kind of followed suit, and they pulled back the numbers and the under contracts come up a little bit. So that overall, we're still in a good market. And so whether you're thinking of buying or selling, it's good. I do sit on the Dare County Tourism Board as a director and affiliate representing the Outer Banks Association of Realtors. And to kind of give you some indications, overall occupancy is down a little bit, 2.05% for the year. However, the meals occupancy tax is not even down a full percentage point. So people are still here. They're still spending money. And the main reason some of the rentals are off on the west side as far as dollar volumes is because some of the obviously ocean fronts close to the beach and everything else are still very vibrant on rental income and have not had to reduce to get activity. On the west side, where you have a long walk or you have to cross the bypass on the upper beaches, that changes dramatically. And we've had a lot of folks reaching out to us over the last couple of months because of the shifting tide of the rental. And that is looking to transition their smaller beach box homes over to a long-term rental, which we at Colony Realty do. We specialize in long-term residential rental and commercial management. Obviously, most of y'all know we don't do short-term rentals, but we do have a partnership with Resort Realty, and they've done a phenomenal job for our clients. So, and some of you who are listening to this are already clients of Resort Realty. I did want to point out some interesting facts from our meeting yesterday at Dare County Tourism Board. And the one thing that we saw based on Lee Nettles as the director is obviously a softening in the third quarter, obviously the fourth quarter, but some of the earnings releases that came out of the short-term rental market outside of our area, Airbnb, VRBO, is a big shift. Let me see if I can grab that real quick because I found it fascinating. Right now, the Airbnb, VRBOs, or other rental companies other than our locally professionally managed company have about 13% of the market by the numbers. Now, some of our local management companies do market through those sources, marketing avenues. And so we're not sure where that dollar volume lands. But the interesting fact that some of the bigger companies here that are now national companies are having to take in other revenue sources to restabilize their businesses. Airbnb was up in the last quarter, but they did mention that the biggest driving factor of that was the Asian market for Airbnb. So they're actually declining in the United States and have picked up in Asia is their biggest market uptick right now. So obviously that spells a lot about what's gone on since the pandemic, where we were forced to kind of stay close to home. And now all travel's open again. So people are moving about the country and about Europe and Asia alike. And that is also putting additional pressure on where people want to be. Do they want to be here on the Outer Banks? Do they want to be in, pick a country, wherever you like to go, Fiji or something like that. So that's been opening up that market. I did go a little over, but if you have questions about any of what we're seeing in the marketplace, you're welcome to reach out to me by email, john@colonyrealtycorp.com, or one of our agents who sent you this directly. And my phone number is, if you didn't know it already, is 252-592, 4OBX. So we're for the Outer Banks. And so it's pretty simple, or 252-592-4629. In the meantime, until we see you here at the beach, I hope you have a wonderful balance of your summer, and we'll talk to you in September. Take care. Bye-bye.